Welcome to my magnum opus of video making, a territory fully undelved into before by myself. First impressions of a game, and that game is Lost Ark. Lost Ark is an isometric, 2.5-dimensional fantasy, massively multiplayer online action role-playing game, in other words a mouthful, or an MMO ARPG. It's co-developed by Tripod Studio and Smilegate RPG. It was initially released in the South Korean region on December the 4th, 2019, and then it was also released with a great anticipation in Europe and the Americas on February 11, 2022, so it's been out for 10 days now, where it is published by Amazon Games. Within 24 hours of the anticipated release, it became the second most played game on Steam, which is insane. Lost Ark is primarily focused on PvE and exploration, questing, achievement/collectible hunting, crafting, and many more things. It does feature PvP elements, which I hear are awesome. So you start by customizing your character, which you can then level up by completing the main storyline. And once you reach level 50, which is the end game level, you unlock the tiered endgame dungeons and raids, at which point all further progression is tied to the character's gear score. After waiting about 10 hours to get into this game, I was finally able to see what all of the fuss was about. Like almost every MMO, Lost Ark utilises a class and subclass system, which allows you to specialise in a more fitting playstyle. You get to have a feel on what suits you, and I feel it's pretty fleshed out and it's pretty good, to be honest. There's also the deeper progression system in the game, allowing you to make very interesting builds which fully fit your playstyle. And then the best bit is every class build in Lost Ark is very viable in one way or another. The most important thing to note, however, is that the classes are all DPS, also known as a damage dealer. Every class has damage dealing skills, each with damage dealing builds. Some are better than others, especially the support classes. They're not official, but they are supports. Bard Paladins, you know where you're at. However, they can all clear the content, but some might be a bit slower there or require a bit more skill than others. My friend told me that you really should focus your DPS skills first, otherwise it becomes a ball ache, for better a word, to get through. So I obviously picked the assassin, because why wouldn't I? I love fast-paced gameplay, I like dual swords, but the assassin I picked actually has 3 swords, and it was called the Deathblade. And the Deathblade is the type of assassin who charges in and cuts people up. You mix combos and you cleave with dual-wield swords, but you have an extra sword because why not? It's a super fast class and you have plenty of dashes, combos, which you absolutely slaughter your enemies. Think of this as a very bloody and dangerous martial artist. The main role of the Deathblade is to fill up the combat gauge. You buff your weapons and then you perform an even deadlier attack when you're done filling with the gauge. All in all, it's a very fast builder, spender playstyle. Super fun. And it just kills. I love it. It just blows people up. It's like a nuke playstyle. And now we get into the character design. I really feel that the character design was very good. It was very in-depth, and I feel that you could do a lot with what was offered with it. I loved it because it's massively weeby, and it strikes true to my heart. However, I really don't like that some of the roles were gender-locked. I really feel this should be adjusted, because if I wanted to be a male assassin, which I did, why is it an issue? Why is it a problem? I just wanted to make Tengen from Demon Slayer, and now I'm stuck being a gross femoid. And now all of a sudden I hate men and preach equality. Horrific scenes. I also don't like that you can't make your own tattoos, as I felt there was way too limited choice for tattoos in the character design. Like making Tengen, he has face tattoos. Yes, you can have face tattoos, but are they the right ones? No, they're not the right ones. My biggest issue with the character design is that you spend anywhere near 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes more depending on what type of person you are. If you've got a history with The Sims, you're probably going to take longer because you want to make your characters look as good as they can, and then you make the most perfect weeby character possible and you never see your character's face again. Give me my damn presets and just be done with it. 11 out of 5 for character design. Visually, Lost Ark looks great. While the graphics aren't the highest quality of any graphics in an MMO, they have a really solid and consistent design that will most likely be unique to anyone who hasn't played a Korean MMO before. And then we get on to the cutscenes. Now, I absolutely could not give a toss about the beginning cutscenes. I felt that there were way too many, and for a man with a simpler intelligence span like myself, I just wanted to get straight into murdering innocent plebs. Me man, me kill. I mean, if you like lore and lore learning, these cutscenes probably laid out a really good bit of groundwork for the actual story, which is something to do with Lost Ark, funnily enough. Maybe just put them in writing, or just have fewer of them so it's not so tedious to get into the game. Yes, I do realise you can skip these, and don't worry, I skipped a good all of them. I'm really glad they offered the ability to skip the cutscenes, because I read that in the Korean version at the start you had to watch every single one. But later on in the dungeons, I feel that if people want... I've heard that if people want to watch the cutscenes, you're forced to watch them. Whereas, yeah, if you solo it, you can skip them. And then we got the gameplay. So I found the gameplay to be very addictive. It's a kill and loot mixed with League of Legends spammabilitiness mixed with a good helping of Diablo. Not that I've played Diablo, I've just heard that this is the case. All I know about Diablo is that you can be an individual who throws frogs at people, and that's all I aspire to be in life. A simple frog throwing man. Thank you, Adam, for showing me the frogman. Much appreciated. I also like the amount of keys. I feel there's a good amount, not too many, not too few. However, my girlfriend thinks there are far too many. I think she's stupid. What does she know about keys? She can barely reach Iron in League of Legends, and that game only has 6 main keys. Her opinion is not a professional one, according to my professional opinion. Zograt, however, loves the amount of keys because it gives him enough room for his fat, disgusting sausage fingers to have a use. It to this day surprises me that he has not had finger surgery. Gross. I digress. Enough about that smooth-brained individual. He, however, is in the game as the Ginger Pirate, who I gladly kill later on. F you, Zograt. F you. And then we've got the quests. The approach to questing is almost a parody of most MMO design. You'll be sent off to kill monsters that respawn so fast that it's often quicker to wait for them to respawn rather than explore, whereas in games like RuneScape you have to wait about a good 5 minutes for some things to respawn. The NPCs which populate the zones are some of the laziest NPCs ever. They ask you to talk to people that they're literally stood right next to on their behalf. Like, come on, fatso, get off your booty and talk to them. Or you move objects all of 10 yards for these very lazy trogs. Whatever a trog is, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And by far the weirdest of the objectives are those that you have to perform an emote to an NPC. Like, not really sure how I'd stop an aspiring king from doubting his own legitimacy, but I'm not sure giving him a fist bump would cut it. Not gonna lie. The quests push you through zones with a large efficiency. Not only are objectives clear and straightforward, You usually complete them with a different NPC from the one who assigned the quest. It saves you backtracking, and it really helps maintain momentum through the game. And it also provides you with a constant stream of rewards like coins, new weapons and armor to keep you hooked and absolutely addicted, which is Zograt's biggest flaw, he says. The quickfire quests, they gradually build towards the larger story arcs and events. Not that I pay too much attention to that. Then most zones will ultimately lead you into a dungeon, which is an instanced area which you can explore with up to 3 other players. So you can get your little posse and you can go and you can wreak havoc. The dungeons are all very different, and you've got a range from, let's say, ancient ruins to pirate coves to crumbling catacombs filled with crazy priests. They're beautifully designed places, to be honest, and very fun to explore. Unlike the more general zones, they aren't populated by constantly respawning enemies, which makes the combat overall a lot more satisfying. On a more simple note, I really like that you're given a horse to get around. I just really hate walking, and I like that you can add that horse and potions to your hotbar to make them easily accessible. I really don't know what my abilities do. All I know is that they kill things. 3 swords, dead. I should probably spend a bit more time learning, but alas, I don't care. Bring me blood. I feel like Katarina from League of Legends. Spins and shit. I do find it very weird how you start out with level 50 gear when you're brand new. Why not just make this level 1 and uncomplicated? I feel as though all the monsters give you no experience, which I found pretty weird. Like, come on, make this game super easy to level up so I can get to the end game stuff. But then that's the whole point of following the storyline, right? And once you're at level 50, 60, congratulations, you're thrown into the big wide world of Lost Ark all by yourself. In conclusion, I think that this game's super cool and highly addictive and absolutely great. I wish that you didn't have to wait a lifetime to play it, but what more should you expect from a game that Amazon has piped out with minimal servers? The company should probably have had a contingency plan for this, but hey ho, what do I know? I'm stupid. Overall, I give this game 7 Rachels out of 10 Rachels. Rachel's my girlfriend, she had to be included, otherwise it's the bin for me. Like, comment and subscribe, and if this video is popular, I'll be very sure to grace you with another first impressions.